In this video we'll discuss about types of floors between the last level and the attic. The attic roofs, the attic types of attic thermal insulation, types of insulating materials, thermotechnical characteristic of insulating materials, heat flow physics for a specific case, types of attic thermal insulation, good things and bad things for different situations. What is an NZEB building? Map of the world's climatic zones used in this video. Thickness of thermal insulation material for NZEB buildings attics in the four situation. Types of floors between the last level and the attic. Wood planks plus wooden beams, concrete plate or metal beams. From a thermal point of view, behaves roughly the same, concrete plate and metal beams. Attics roofs, planks plus wooden beams or metal beams. Attic types, no side walls, with side walls, or attic over attic. From a thermal point of view, it behaves approximately the same as the attics without side walls. Types of attic thermal insulation: non-insulated, insulated floor, insulated roof, and floor plus insulated roof. Types of insulating materials: mineral wool, rolls or plates, polyurethane foam, fire retardant cellulose, extruded polystyrene, and expanded polystyrene. Thermotechnical characteristics of insulating materials. Thermal resistance R is with this formula, where D is the thickness of insulating material and lambda is thermal conductivity. Those are the most present insulating material: polyurethane foam with thermal conductivity 0.022, with this thermal resistance for a thickness of 10 centimeters layer. Mineral wool rolls or plates with 0.036, extruded polystyrene, fire retardant cellulose, expanded polystyrene. We see that those four materials have similar thermal characteristics. For polyurethane foam, we will look at fire resistance time, which is small. There are some newer types with medium time. What is the importance of the fire resistance time? Because the most of attics are made from wood, so it is very important the fire resistance time of thermoinsulating materials. Mineral wool has a large fire resistance time. Fire protection is proportional to mineral wool density. Extruded polystyrene has a small fire resistance time. Fire retardant cellulose has a medium resistance time, and expanded polystyrene has also a small fire resistance time. Thermal conductivity of polyurethane foam is approximately 2 times lower than of all the other materials. So at the same thickness, polyurethane foam has a thermal resistance approximate double. For energy auditors for buildings or for people passionate about energy of buildings, in the video description you will find a link to a site about energy performance of buildings, a link to a more complex video about thermoisolation of attics. Let's discuss a little about heat flow physics. For example, we have a house without attic, only with non-insulating ceiling over the ground floor. Inside we have the temperature TE 20 degrees. Outside we have the temperature of winter T exterior TE 0 degrees. Heat flow from indoor to exterior, from warm to cold, is described by this formula. Heat flow in vat is area divided thermal resistance multiplied internal temperature minus external temperature. I will pass quickly through this chapter. The interested ones can stop video on a specific image and read in the right side more detailed calculation. We see that the thermal flow calculations, we see that it reached a very high value, equivalent of 3.5 radiators of 2000 watts each for a ceiling of 100 square meters. If we add a attic of the ceiling, the heat flow from the interior to the attic through the ceiling is massively reduced. Why this happens? This happens because in the attic the temperature is approximately 10 degrees, and then the difference of temperature between internal and the attics becomes 20 minus 10 degrees from 20 minus 0 degrees, so it reduces at half. This means a flow approximately 2 times smaller than the one without an attic of the ceiling. In this case, the attic, in addition to reduction of about 2 times the heat flow, protects the ceiling and implicitly the entire building. Heat flow ratio with attic divided to heat flow without attic is called the correction factor, and it's denoted with B. How to calculate the attic, internal temperature of the attic. To obtain the temperature of the attic, we will use the principle of conservation of energy. Sum of energy flows entering the attic is sum of energy flows coming out of the attic. That is heat flow between building and attic plus solar flow through attic roof. It's equal with heat flow between attic and outside and heat flow by ventilation. These are the calculations for non-thermal insulating ceiling, non-thermal insulating attic roof, for insulating ceiling and non-insulating attic roof, non-thermally insulating ceiling, thermal insulating attic roof, thermal insulating ceiling and thermal insulating attic roof. Types of attic thermal insulation: non-insulating ceiling and non-insulating attic roof. It is the option that should not be taken into account. Heat flow from the heated space to the attic is very large. Insulating ceiling and not insulating attic roof. It doesn't matter if the ceiling to the attic or the attic roof are made of concrete, metal or wood. The thermal resistance of the insulating layer is much higher than the thermal resistance of the ceiling towards the attic. During the cold period, when the building requires heating, the attic is approximately the exterior plus 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. During the hot summer period, because the roof of the attic is not insulated, the solar flows enter strongly into the attic and produce a strong heating of it, and we have the attic day. It's the exterior plus 10 degrees Celsius during the day, and the attic night is the exterior plus 2 or 3 degrees Celsius at night. If you want to store things in the attics, clothes, furniture, archive, etc., very low temperatures in winter and very high in summer will strongly damage stored things. Temperature in the attic is very close to the outside. Heat flow between the top level and the attic is strongly diminished compared to the variant with non-thermally insulated floor. The decrease is stronger with the increase in the thickness of the insulating layer. Since the temperature in the attic is close to the outside, the heat flow is close to that of an open terrace, and therefore requires consistent thickness of thermal insulating layer for the ceiling towards the attic, about 2 times larger than in the case of insulating ceiling and insulating attic roof. This thermal insulating variant is suitable for bridges with low heights that do not allow the usual access of people and no storage. Non-insulating ceiling and roof insulating attic. If the ceiling to the attic is made of concrete or metal, they have a lower thermal resistance. The attic is T interior minus 1 or 2 degrees. If the ceiling of the attic is made of wood, it has a higher thermal resistance. The attic is T interior minus 2 or 3 degrees. Since the temperature in attic is very close to the temperature inside the building, the attic is almost like a heated attic. It is very important that the thickness of the insulating layer is larger than 20 centimeters, for polyurethane foam 10 centimeters, so as not to heat up too much in summer when the solar flows are strong and not to lose much heat in winter, as the case of a heated attic. The heat flow between the top ceiling and the attic is medium, even if the ceiling is not insulated. Because the temperature difference between the building and the attic is small, 1, 2, or 3 degrees Celsius. Even though the heat flow is medium, it is about 4 times larger than the one in the case of insulating ceiling and insulating attic roof at the same thickness of thermal insulation layer. See the right. This thermal insulation variant is suitable for attics with various types of use, gym, hobbyist room, storage space, etc. Insulating ceiling and roof insulating attic. It doesn't matter if the ceiling or the attic or the roof of the attic are made of concrete, metal, or wood. The thermal resistance of the insulation layer is much higher than the thermal resistance of the ceiling towards the attic or of the roof of the attic. During the cold period, when the building requires heating, the attic is approximately T interior plus T exterior divided 2. During the hot summer period, because the roof of the attic is insulated, the solar fluxes almost do not enter the attic and do not produce the significant heat of it, and we have T attic a day is T interior plus T exterior divided 2 plus 2 or 3 degrees Celsius during the day. T attic the night is T interior plus T exterior divided 2 at night. If you want to store things in the attic, clothes, furniture, archives, etc., temperature are suitable for this. In addition, the moderate temperatures in the attic will contribute to increasing the lifespan of the building materials from which it is made. Heat flow between the top level and the attic is reduced to about half, to the same thickness of thermal insulation of the ceiling, comparing to the version with thermal insulating floor and non-insulating attic roof, because the temperature difference between the building and the attic is half compared to that option. It is the variant with the lowest heat flow between the last level and the attic. This thermal insulation variant is the most suitable for attics with heights maximums greater than 1.80 meters. What is an NZEB building? Buildings that meet the condition NZEB, near zero energy building, is a building very well thermal insulated, is what interests us in this video, have very efficient installations for heating, cooling, hot water, ventilation, and lighting, at least 30%, which differs from country to country, of the energy needed for building, for heating, cooling, hot water, ventilation, and lighting, it's obtained from renewable sources. Currently, all new buildings in European Union must meet the NZEB conditions. These requirements allow us to reduce the CO2 releases that lead to climate change that is increasingly affecting us. Map of the world's climatic zones used in this video. There for different annual average temperature between different temperatures. These are zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 with different temperatures between them. And you will see what your average annual temperature for your city and see in what zone it is located. Thickness of thermal insulation materials for NZEB buildings attics. Insulation. Insulating ceiling and not insulating attic roof. Thickness were established by me and my fellow energy auditors for building through calculation and experience. For zone 1 is 20 centimeters, zone 2 25 centimeters, zone 3 30 centimeters, zone 4 35 centimeters, zone 5 40 centimeters. If applying polyurethane foam, the thickness will be divided by 2. Non-insulating ceiling and roof insulating attic. For zone 1 25 centimeters, zone 2 30 centimeters, zone 3 35 centimeters, zone 4 40 centimeters, zone 5 45 centimeters. If applying polyurethane foam, the thickness will be divided by 2. For insulating ceiling and roof insulating attic, Zone 1 ceiling 15 centimeters, roof 15 centimeters. Zone 2 ceiling 20 centimeters, roof 20 centimeters. Zone 3 ceiling 25 centimeters, roof 25 centimeters. Zone 4 ceiling 30 centimeters, roof 30 centimeters. Zone 5 ceiling 35 centimeters, roof 35 centimeters. If applying polyurethane foam, the thickness will be divided by 2.